There it is. Jekyll and Hyde C2, brand new, and really the first time out with the body. The body isn't even dunged up, so we're gonna start the timer and run those 11 gates. See what happens. You have seen this truck without the body, but you haven't seen it with the body. And it's a good way to start. Roll it right over on its lid. There's a gate. Alright. Anyway, we're running a Hobby Wing Mini Fusion Pro in this as well. CP 43 front. Pitbull growlers, combination of crazy crawler foams and inserts in there. And there is deluxe shocks on this as well. Hand built by the madman himself, Austin. So we're gonna see what they can do here. Running a little bit short. I'm running shorts in the front, and then a 103 something in the back. Again, a different suspension setup that I'm used to running. Yeah, we got that. These are super tight C1 gates. So when I practice, I try to keep my gates pretty tight, because then when I'm actually at a comp, the gate almost feels ginormous. So but just I like the balance in the Jekyll and Hyde. Like I said, they're cantankerous a little bit to get set up to your driving style, but once you kind of find it, for your style, the truck is it's pretty badass. So also took me a little bit of time to get these growlers right with the lighter trucks. You know, a lot of people don't really realize that the growler is actually a trail tire. Wasn't initially designed for comping, but so that means the sidewalls, about to bust my butt, sidewalls are pretty stiff, and the compound is pretty dense as well. So, but once you break the tire in a little bit and you get the right foam set up in the tire, it's a quality comp tire. I've had pretty good luck with them over the years. They make a couple different ones. Oops. So pretty short work there, 8-minute time limit, and just under 6 minutes. So again, Jekyll and Hyde 2, or Jekyll and Alright, let's try that again. Jekyll and Hyde CCW Corrupt Carbon Works. Jekyll and Hyde Class 2. Super Shafty CP43 axles front and rear. Pitbull growlers on Super Shafty Osprey wheels. I think that's V1 with the circles, V2 maybe. I don't know, he's got a couple different versions, different widths. Again, just like the like the balance on the Jekyll and Hyde, but she could be tricky getting her set up to your specific driving style. So it does take a little bit of work to get that. But once you get that, she is pretty, I gotta start my timer again, but she is pretty on point. Takes a little bit of time. Well, for me, it was droop guy, suspension guy for the longest time. This is the first true suspension chassis I have run for a long time. A couple of the carbon guys said that the droop just does not play well with this particular setup and geometry, so although a couple of them are, I think they're funny, but I gotta go with what they tell me because I trust them. They know the trucks probably better than anybody. So Alright guys, we are back to actually start the timer this time. Just did a couple of gates. C2, run 3. And here we go. There we go. A little bit better C1 there. A lot of noise. Remember, this is an open box trans. And there's a lot of force going through that joker. And like I said, I haven't really run it, so as the looser it gets and starts to get broke in, the more noisy it gets, I think. Hopefully my camera's on, I can't remember. Not what I wanted to do there. Definitely didn't want to do that. So being in this situation in real life, I would have winched this. So we're going to get, what I was trying to do was get there. Wiggle that front over. So good gate placement there. Much more difficult than I thought it was going to be, but that drop off on the back wasn't helpful. Try to make this one a little less crazy. Yeah, nice. This is one of the gates I changed around 2 or 3. Alright, same thing, about 6 minutes.